Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, is shaking in his boots. Yeah, fam. According to reports, he is going to be impeached. And this time, he might just be removed from office. I ain't got no problem with that. Yeah, man. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock that uncivilized mud up. Say, fam, here's the deal. People are saying that this guy should have never been in office in the first place, and I agree with that. But his supporters are saying that he's the best thing since sliced bread. He is the best president ever. And I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to look at this from an objective standpoint. And I've looked at it in every way possible. And I do not see how this guy could be the best president ever unless you consider being divisive and corrupt and thieving and lying and stealing, killing innocent people. If you believe that, then yeah, I guess he would be the best president ever, But if you believe otherwise, you might need to go get your head checked. So here are some reasons that I compiled to support why Donald Trump should actually be removed. First of all, Donald Trump was impeached twice during his first term, and he has faced new calls for impeachment during his second term. That's based on several categories of high crimes and misdemeanors. His second term grounds, this is 2025 to 2026. Since returning to office, January 2025, several lawmakers and advocacy groups like Free Speech for People have detailed grounds for a third impeachment. And I just outline a few of the ones that I think that could really, really stick. Let's start with unauthorized military actions. Critics point to unprovoked large-scale military attacks on Iran on February 28, 2026, and Venezuela, January 3rd, 2026, without congressional authorization as violations of War Powers Clause. That's a violation of the War Powers Clause. Violence against civilians. Allegations include ordering U.S. military to strike civilian vessels in international waters and deploying National Guard troops in cities like Chicago and Los Angeles against the will of local governors, which critics label as treasonous, levying war against individual states. Threats against political rivals. Oh, this is a good one. He's really good at this. On November 20, 2025, Trump allegedly called for the execution of Democratic lawmakers who advised military members to refuse illegal orders, which was cited as a primary reason in H-Res 939 filed by Representative Al Green, H-Town's own. Constitutional violations. Groups cite ongoing violations of the foreign and domestic emoluments clauses through his businesses and the use of federal agencies to punish political enemies or spread partisan messaging. Historical impeachments. 2019, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The House of Representatives impeached Trump for withholding military aid to Ukraine to pressure President Zelensky into investigating a political rival, namely Joe Biden. In 2021, incitement of insurrection. Following the January 6th Capitol attack, Trump was impeached for incitement to insurrection based on his false claims of election fraud and rhetoric leading up to the riot. Decision criteria for impeachment. According to the U.S. Constitution, impeachment is a political process for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Moral and constitutional duty. Supporters argue that failing to address abuses of power would condone them for future administrations and abdicate Congress's oversight responsibility. Accountability. Impeachment serves as a permanent record of conduct that tests the limits of democracy and ensures the president is not above the law. Family, this should be a slam dunk. We all know that he's guilty of every single claim. These are big claims, fam. Unauthorized military actions. I mean, he killed thousands of people. He's responsible for that. On both sides, there were people killed. For all of you who don't give a damn about nobody else, there was at least 12 Americans reported killed in the Iran conflict. At least 12, right? Let me back up. I'm saying conflict, no. It was war. War. At least 12 Americans. So that's for y'all that don't care about nobody else but Americans. So Trump is responsible for that. And all of this ongoing conflict right now is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Well, guess what, fam? Did you know before Trump decided to attack Iran, the Strait of Hormuz was already open? It was already open. He closed it when he attacked the damn country. Oh yeah, he absolutely got to go, fam. He should have never been able to see, I'm smarter than the people who allowed him to stay in and now are having to deal with him. I would have never allowed him to get in. I would have never allowed him to get back in. I wouldn't have allowed him to get in. If I had anything to do with it, he wouldn't have been allowed to get in from the get-go. I would have had to impress upon everybody, look, man, this dude is a dodo bird. This dude is slow. This dude is a criminal. You can't let this dude in here. If we let this dude in, we are going to lower the bar for all presidents going forward. We can't let him in. We just can't let him in. It don't matter how many uncivilized mutts out there that like him. We don't give a damn. We got to save the democracy. We got to save it. We have to save it. So we're going to have to do whatever we got to do to prevent him from getting in. Look, anybody that talks about that this ain't right, that ain't right. You know how much stuff this dude and got away with that's not right? This is only a few. These are only a few transgressions. He's literally gotten away with hundreds, if not thousands of transgressions, thousands of criminal acts, thousands. These are just some of the more standouts. Unauthorized military actions, killing people, costing the country $2 billion a day. Violence against civilians. You got the wars that he started and the innocent people, including those little girls who was killed at that school. Almost 200 little girls were bombed. We know, and that's weird because we know how much he likes little girls. It's amazing that he would allow them to kill them like that without first checking them out. Then he turned the goons loose on his own citizens in Chicago, in Minneapolis, in Los Angeles. He turned the goons loose. In DC, you got threats against political rivals. This dude called for the execution of members of Congress. So you got the constitutional violations. So they want to impeach him for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. See, here's the only thing that trips me out about the people who are now allegedly coming to their senses. They knew what was going on all along, but they played the game. So perhaps they were just sitting back and just say, let him keep going, let him keep going, let him keep going. He's going to bury himself, so just let him keep going. But they could have stood up to him and they could have knocked it all the way down. They could have stopped him, but they didn't, because they're cowards and they care nothing about the American people. Right now, there is a race for all of them to save themselves. They care nothing about the American people. Give me a thumbs up, fam, if you think this impeachment is going to be successful. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, they ain't going to do nothing. They just talking. They ain't going to do nothing to them. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.